My leg is the first problem. The bone is through the skin of my shin, white and sharp against the dark gray of my trousers. It does not look like it belongs to me. Each beat of my heart sends a fresh wave of fire up from my ankle to my hip. The second problem is the chitinous spar pinning my other leg, the one that is not broken, to the spongy floor. It is heavy. I have tried to move it. The effort made the world swim in gray spots and the pain in my good leg flare into a scream that I swallowed. The third problem, and maybe the most important one, is that I am trapped in the southern translocation conduit of Master Neloth's tower. It has collapsed. Again. The air smells of ozone, damp rot, and something else. Something metallic and sweet like blood and spoiled magica. The walls pulse with a faint, sickly green light. They are the living flesh of the tower, a lattice of fungus and enchanted mycelium. I can feel a low hum through the floor, the deep thrum of the tower's heart. But it is irregular. A sick heartbeat, stuttering. That is what caused the collapse. A resonance cascade, just like I warned Talvas Fathrion it would. He told me Master Neloth had accounted for the harmonic instability. I told him Master Neloth accounts for very little that does not directly benefit his own research, least of all the safety of his staff. I appear to have been correct. That is not much comfort right now. I shift my weight, trying to ease the pressure on my trapped leg. The bone in my other leg grates. I bite down on my tongue until I taste copper. I have to think. Panicking is a luxury and I cannot afford it. I am a Telvanni Navigator. My job is to guide the translocation of this entire tower, to align the matrices and ensure we arrive in one piece. I am supposed to understand the structure. Right now, the structure is a tomb. My tomb, it seems. My satchel is just out of reach. Out. I can see the leather strap, half buried under a pile of pulpy, fibrous rubble. It might have potions. It almost certainly has a water skin. My throat is already starting to feel like sandpaper. Getting to it is the only goal that matters. I plant my hands on the spongy floor. The texture is slick and yielding like old flesh. I push. The spar does not move. The pain is a white sheet held in front of my eyes. I collapse back, breathing in ragged gasps. The green light on the walls seems to dim and brighten with my breathing. Or maybe it is the other way around. I am not sure how long I have been here. Time works differently inside the tower's core systems. Hours can feel like minutes. It is easy to lose track. The hum of the tower is the only clock, and it is broken. I close my eyes and listen. The hum, yes. A faint wet dripping from somewhere above me. The sound of my own ragged breath. And something else, a scratching, faint, distant. Skeevers? No, the sound is too rhythmic, too intentional. It is the sound of something trying to get in, or out. I need that satchel. I try again, this time ignoring the pain, focusing only on the mechanics of it. I need a lever. My hand scrabbles across the floor, fingers searching for anything solid. My fingers brush against something hard and smooth. A soul gem. I pull it free from the muck. It is a common soul gem filled. Its light is a pathetic purple flicker in the green gloom. It is useless as a tool. I throw it against the far wall in frustration. It clinks and rolls into a dark corner. A wasted gesture, wasted energy. I have to be smarter. Master Neloth. He will be furious. Not because I am likely to die in his tower, but because the southern conduit is a critical component for his next planned translocation to the coast of the Sea of Ghosts. He wanted to study the ice wraiths there. Their crystalline structure holds fascinating resonant properties, Malther, he told me yesterday, not looking up from his scrying bowl. Do ensure the tower is prepared. I will not tolerate delays. He will find my body, or what is left of it, and be annoyed that he has to find a new navigator. He might even try to reanimate me. The thought is enough to make me try pushing the spar again. The result is the same. White light, pain. Nothing moves. The scratching sound is closer now. It is coming from down the collapsed section of the conduit, deeper in the tower's guts. It is a dry, rasping sound, like chitin on stone. No, not stone, chitin on chitin. I have heard it before. The sound of a scribbled page turning. No, that is not it. It is the sound a caguti makes when it sharpens its tusks on a rock. But there are no caguti in Tel Mithrin. Master Neloth does not tolerate wild animals. He prefers the ones he makes himself. I have to get to the satchel. I take off my belt. It is thick leather with a heavy brass buckle. Not much, but maybe I can work it under the edge of the spar, use it to get some purchase. I lie on my side, the broken leg sending jolts of agony up my spine with every small movement. I stretch, my fingers straining. The buckle of the belt is just centimeters from the edge of the spar. I push. It slides underneath. A small victory. I try to lever it up. The leather bends. The spar does not budge. Of course, it was a stupid idea. What did I expect? To move a half-ton piece of magically reinforced fungus with a belt? I'm losing my mind. My throat is so dry. I try to swallow, but there is nothing to swallow. I look at the walls. They are damp. The dripping I hear is condensation or some kind of nutrient secretion for the tower's growth. I press my tongue against the wall next to me. The taste is bitter, earthy, and strangely salty. It is wet, that is all that matters. I lick a long, slow strip of the wall, gathering what moisture I can. It does not quench the thirst, but it eases the raw, dusty feeling in my throat. I wonder if it is poisonous. Probably. Everything in a Telvanni wizard's tower is poisonous to some degree. It is a matter of dosage. A memory surfaces unbidden. Talvas and me sitting on the main balcony of the tower sharing a bottle of sujama. The sky over Solstheim was a riot of green and purple light. He was complaining about his latest task, enchanting a stack of forks to scream when they touched meat. "It is pointless," he grumbled. "He just wants to see if I can manage a sustained auditory illusion on a silver substrate." "It is not pointless," I told him, taking a long drink. "It is a lesson in precision, and it is funny." He threw a piece of dried fish at me. "It is not funny when you have done 100 of them. At least you get to do something important. Navigating the tower, that is real power." "It is plumbing, Talvas," I shot back. "I am a glorified plumber, directing the flow of magicka through pipes made of fungus. And when it goes wrong, I am the one who gets covered in it." We laughed then. It seems less funny now. The scratching has stopped. The silence that follows is somehow worse. The hum of the tower continues its erratic beat. The dripping continues its slow, steady rhythm. Drip, 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 like a clock counting down to something. I hold my breath, listening. Nothing. Maybe it was just the tower settling. Maybe it was a trapped skeever. Or maybe the thing that was scratching has found another way in. I look at my broken leg. The blood on my trousers is dark and crusty now. I should be in more pain. The initial fire has subsided into a deep, throbbing ache. A dangerous numbness is starting to creep into my toes. That is a bad sign. I know enough battlefield medicine from my youth in the House Guard to know what that means. The circulation is cut off. If I do not get free soon, I will lose the leg. If I do not bleed out first. I have one more idea. It is terrible. It is born of desperation. In my right boot, I keep a small, sharp knife. It is for cutting samples of mycelium for recalibrating the finer magical conduits. It is razor sharp. If I can reach it, I can cut my satchel strap. The contents will spill out. Maybe a potion will roll close enough for me to grab. The problem is reaching my boot. It is on my trapped leg, the one under the spar. I have to twist my body into a position it was not made for. My spine screams in protest. The broken leg feels like it is on fire. I reach down, my fingers brushing against the leather of my boot. The handle of the knife is there. I can feel the familiar cross-hatching on the grip. My fingers close around it. I pull. It is stuck. The angle is wrong. The spar is pressing down on the sheath. I let out a frustrated sob. It is a dry, pathetic sound. Tears will not help. They are a waste of moisture. I lie back, exhausted. I look up at the ceiling of the conduit. It is a swirling pattern of green and black like marbled stone. It is almost beautiful in a way. The art of a mad god. Master Naloth did not grow this tower. He won it from another wizard in a duel that, according to the stories, lasted 3 weeks and turned a section of the Ashlands into a glassy crater. The tower is older than him. It has its own thoughts, its own strange consciousness. I am a flea trapped in the ear of a giant. The scratching starts again. It is much closer now. It is on the other side of the wall to my right. Scrape, scrape, pause, scrape. It is methodical. It is searching for something. For me. A cold dread, colder than the damp floor, seeps into my bones. What does Naloth keep in the lower levels of his tower? I have never been down there. He calls it his menagerie. Talvas says he heard things howling down there. Unholy things pulled from the darkest corners of oblivion. I have to get that knife. I try again. This time I do not just pull. I try to shift my leg just a centimeter or two to change the angle. The pressure from the spar is immense. It feels like my hip is being torn from its socket. But the boot moves, just a fraction. I pull on the knife again. It scrapes against the inside of the sheath, but it is moving. I grit my teeth, tasting blood again. The knife comes free. I hold it up. The blade gleams in the green light. It is small, but it is a piece of hope made of steel. I turn my attention back to the satchel. It is a difficult angle. I have to lean over my own body, my arm stretched to its limit. The strap is thick leather. I saw at it. The blade is sharp, but the work is slow. My arm aches. My whole body is trembling with exhaustion and pain. A memory. My first day. Master Naloth led me into the central navigation chamber. It was a vast, spherical room, with glowing lines of light tracing patterns across the walls. "This is the tower's nexus," he said, his voice echoing in the space. "From here you will guide us. The principles are simple. The execution is complex. Do not fail. Failure is uninteresting." He did not threaten me. He did not have to. The casual dismissal in his voice was more terrifying than any threat. To him, I was a component, like a soul gem or a length of wire. If I broke, he would simply replace me. The strap finally gives. The satchel spills its contents onto the floor. A piece of dried meat now covered in slime. A spare focusing crystal cracked. A water skin. And one potion. The water skin landed too far away near the soul gem in the corner. But the potion, it rolled. It rolled towards me. It stopped just at the edge of the spar, a few inches from my fingers. It is a healing potion. The glass is red, the contents swirling with a faint light of their own. Salvation. I stretch my fingers. They are numb and stiff. I can almost touch it. Almost. My fingertips graze the cool glass. I just need another inch. I try to shift my body to slide myself forward. The spar grinds against my leg. The broken bone shifts. The world goes white. I think I scream this time. I am not sure. When my vision clears, the potion has not moved. It is still there, mocking me. The scratching is louder. It is in the conduit with me now, just around a bend in the collapsed tunnel. I can hear it breathing, a wet, rasping sound like a bellows full of fluid. I can smell it, a foul, swampy odor like a tomb that has been opened for the first time in 1,000 years. I know that smell. I have smelled it on Master Neloth when he returns from his studies. It is the smell of Apocrypha, the smell of Hermaeus Mora's realm. He has brought something back with him, one of the lurkers perhaps, or something worse, something that should not be in this world. And it is hunting. I am lying here bleeding and helpless, a perfect bait. My heart is hammering against my ribs. I look at the potion, then I look at my knife. The knife is in my hand. The potion is out of reach. There is a choice to be made. I am a navigator. I solve problems. The problem is the distance between my hand and the potion. How do I solve it? I look around the small, cramped space. There is nothing. Just me, the rubble, the spar, and the creature that is slowly, methodically making its way towards me. I could use the knife on myself, a quick end, better than being torn apart by some tentacled horror from a Daedric realm. But I am not a coward. I am a Dunmer of House Telvanni. We do not give up. I use the knife to dig at the spongy floor in front of me. I carve out a small channel, a little trench in the muck, leading from the potion to my hand. It is a slow, painstaking process. The floor is fibrous and tough. My hands are weak. But the fear gives me strength. The sound of the creature is getting closer. I can hear the slithering of its body, the wet slap of its appendages on the floor. It is taking its time. It knows I am not going anywhere. The channel is complete. It is crude, but it might work. I use the flat of the knife blade to reach out and gently nudge the potion. It wobbles. I hold my breath. It tilts. It rolls. It settles perfectly into the start of the channel. I nudge it again carefully. It slides a few inches down the trench. Yes, it is working. I do it again. And again. A slow, agonizing journey of a few feet. The creature comes around the bend. It is a seeker. A floating horror of tentacles and writhing flesh with a single, unblinking eye in its center. It hovers in the conduit, its gaze fixing on me. It does not attack. It just watches. They are librarians, the archivists of Apocrypha. They are not known for their aggression, but they are also guardians. And I am somewhere I am not supposed to be. The potion is almost within reach. The seeker drifts closer, its tentacles brushing against the ceiling. It emits a low, warbling sound. A question in a language that would break a mortal mind. I ignore it. I focus on the potion. One more nudge. It rolls the last few inches and bumps against my fingers. I snatch it. My hand is shaking so badly I almost drop it. I pull the cork with my teeth. The seeker is right in front of me now. Its single eye is the size of my head. It stares at me not with malice, but with a cold, alien curiosity. It is studying me. I bring the potion to my lips. I do not know what will happen. Will the healing magic attract it? Will it see my attempt to survive as an act of defiance? I do not care. I drink. The magic is a cool fire in my throat. It spreads through my body, a wave of warmth and strength. I can feel the knitting of torn muscle, the sealing of ruptured veins. The pain in my broken leg lessens, the sharp edges rounding off into a dull, manageable ache. It is not enough to mend the bone, but it is enough. It has stopped the bleeding. It has cleared my head. I look at the seeker. It has not moved. It continues to watch me, its tentacles twitching slightly. What does it want? I hold up the knife. A pathetic gesture against a creature like this. It warbles again, a series of clicks and tones. It sounds like it is reading the patterns of my soul, perhaps. Master Neloth has books bound in the skin of these things. Then it moves. It does not attack. It drifts past me, silent and graceful. It moves towards the collapsed section of the conduit, the way I came in. Its tentacles phase through the rubble as if it is not there. It is searching for something, not me. It was never about me. I was just an obstacle in its path. An insect on the floor. I am alone again. The hum of the tower is still wrong. I am still trapped. My leg is still broken. But I am alive. The immediate threat is gone. The thirst is still there, a grinding need in the back of my throat. The water skin is still 10 feet away. But I have the knife. I have a clearer head. The problem has changed, but the goal is the same. Survive. I start to think about the spar. The belt did not work, but I am stronger now. The potion has given me back some of what the pain took away. I look at the spar again, studying its shape, where it meets the floor, where it pins my leg. It is wedged at an angle. If I could lift the lower end even by an inch, I might be able to pull my leg free. I place the flat of the knife on the floor under the edge of the spar. I use it as a fulcrum. Then I take the cracked focusing crystal, which is heavy and solid, and I place it on the near side of the knife. It is a makeshift lever, a very bad one. I press down on the crystal. The knife blade groans under the strain. The spar lifts a fraction of a millimeter. Not enough. I need more weight, or a better lever. I look around. There is only the rubble. I try to pull a larger piece of the fibrous wall material closer. It is heavy and awkward. After a few minutes of struggle, I manage to get it next to me. I position it. I try again. This time, when I press down, the spar lifts. A full inch. It is enough. I pull my leg. The pain is immense, but it is a clean, sharp pain now, not the grinding agony from before. My boot scrapes against the underside of the spar. My trousers tear, but my leg comes free. I am free. I lie on the floor, panting, my body slick with sweat. Both my legs are useless, one broken, the other a mass of crushed muscle and deep bruises. But I am not pinned. I crawl. I drag myself across the slick, disgusting floor towards the water skin. Every movement is a new landscape of pain. But I am moving. I am in control. I reach the water skin. I drink. The water is stale and has a faint taste of leather, but it is the best thing I have ever tasted. I drink until my stomach aches. Now what? I am free from the spar, but I am still in a collapsed tunnel deep inside a malfunctioning magical tower. The Seeker is still somewhere in here with me. And the scratching. The scratching has started again. From a different direction, down the other end of the conduit. There is more than one of them. I sit with my back against the wall, the knife in my hand. I have a water skin and a piece of dried meat. My leg is broken. There is no way out. The logical part of my brain, the Navigator part, tells me my situation is hopeless. But there is another part of me, the part that has survived working for a Telvanni master for 5 years, that refuses to agree. There is always a way. You just have to find the right conduit, the right frequency. I remember another conversation with Talvas. He was trying to master a fire spell. He kept burning his own robes. I cannot control it, he complained, stamping out a small flame on his sleeve. You are thinking about it the wrong way, I told him. You are not controlling the fire, you are showing it where to go. It has its own nature, you are just the navigator. He finally got it right. The jet of flame he produced almost took my eyebrows off. The tower has its own nature, it is sick, it is trying to heal itself. The collapse was a seizure, a convulsion. The passages are regrowing, rerouting. The scratching I hear might not be creatures, it might be the tower itself. The sound of new walls being born. If that is true, then this passage might not exist in an hour. It might be sealed forever. Or a new way out might open up. I have to stay awake. I have to listen. I eat the dried meat, chewing it slowly, making it last. It tastes like ash and salt. I take another small sip of water. I check the soul gem I threw earlier. Still glowing faintly. I have no use for it, but it is a light. A tiny speck of purple in the overwhelming green. Time passes, I do not know how much. I drift in and out of a light, painful sleep. I dream of open skies and solid ground. I dream of the Seeker's eye filling my vision. I wake up with a start, my hand tight on my knife. The scratching is much louder, it is all around me. The walls are groaning, shifting. The floor beneath me vibrates. A crack appears in the wall opposite me. It starts small, a hairline fracture in the fungal surface. It widens. A thick, viscous fluid like sap begins to ooze out. The crack spreads, branching out like a tree root. The sound is like ice breaking on a frozen lake. The tower is changing. I drag myself away from the wall towards the center of the conduit. The crack is now a gaping hole. I can see into the space beyond. It is not another passage. It is a cavity, a vast, open space within the tower's structure. It is filled with a soft, pulsing blue light, and it is full of webs. Thick, sticky-looking strands of glowing silk. I have heard of these. The Arcanist's Spinnery, a place where the tower converts raw magicka into enchantable filaments. It is supposed to be sealed. Master Neloth himself told me that even he does not go in there. He said the original architect of the tower had left guardians. The scratching stops. From the hole in the wall, something emerges. It is a spider, but it is made of crystal and shadow. Its legs are long, sharp shards of what looks like obsidian. Its body is a swirling vortex of dark energy. A phase spider, a creature that can walk between planes. It is one of the guardians. It turns its multifaceted eyes towards me. It takes a step into the conduit. It is silent. It does not make a sound as it moves. It is looking at my broken leg, at the blood. It sees me as an impurity, a contamination in the system. I am a broken component, and it is the cleaner. I raise my knife. The spider is 10 feet away. It is the size of a large dog. I am dead. This is it. All that struggle just to end up as food for some magical pest control. I think of Talvas. I think of the sky over Solstheim. I think of my mother's house in Mournhold. A good life, a short one. The spider takes another step. I brace myself. Then behind it in the blue-lit cavern something else moves. A flicker of motion. The Seeker. It drifts out of the webs, silent and ominous. It moves between me and the spider. It makes its low, warbling sound again. The spider freezes. The two creatures face each other. The ancient guardian of the tower and the alien librarian from a dead god's library. They are not supposed to be in the same place. Their realities are incompatible. The air between them crackles with energy. The green light of the conduit flickers and dies. The blue light from the cavern flares. The purple light of my soul gem seems to shine brighter. The Seeker's tentacles lash out. They do not touch the spider. They seem to pass right through it. But the spider recoils, its shadowy form wavering. It lets out a high-pitched, chittering sound, a noise that hurts my ears. It takes a step back into the cavern. It is afraid. The Seeker does not pursue, it just hovers there, a silent, implacable presence. It has protected me. Why? I do not understand. Maybe it is not protecting me, maybe it is protecting its own mission, maybe I am part of what it is searching for, or maybe its alien mind simply saw the spider as a greater anomaly than me. I will never know. The spider retreats into the webs. The Seeker turns its great eye back to me. It drifts closer. I do not feel fear anymore. I am too tired, too broken. I just watch it. Its tentacles gently brush against my broken leg. I feel a strange, cold sensation like ice and static. The pain in my leg vanishes. I look down. The bone is still broken, the wound is still there, but the pain is gone. It has been edited, removed. The Seeker floats past me and continues down the conduit towards the way I came. It phases through the rubble and is gone. I am left in the silence, in the pulsing blue light from the newly opened cavern. The pain in my leg is gone. I can think clearly. I have to move. The tower is still unstable. This cavern might be a way out. Or it might be a faster way to die. I look into it. The webs are thick, but there are gaps. And in the distance, at the far end of the cavern, I see another light. A warm, yellow light, like a torch or a doorway. I begin to crawl again. I drag my useless legs behind me. I enter the cavern. The air here is different. It is dry and smells of dust and old paper. The webs are not sticky. They are smooth and cool to the touch like spun glass. I pull myself through them hand over hand. It is slow progress. I am a navigator. My job is to find a path. The path is not always clear. Sometimes you have to make your own. The yellow light is my destination. I do not know what is there. It could be Master Neloth's study. It could be the main spire. It could be the maw of some other horror. It does not matter. It is a direction. It is a purpose. I keep crawling. My arms burn. My legs are a dead weight behind me. But I do not stop. The blue light of the cavern gives way to the yellow light ahead. I hear voices, muffled but clear. One of them is Talvas. He sounds frantic. The other is Master Neloth. He sounds bored. "The conduit has collapsed entirely, Master," Talvas is saying. "Malthor is still inside. We have to do something." "The conduit can be regrown," Neloth's voice replies, flat and dismissive. "Navigators can be replaced. My research cannot. Stop bothering me with trivialities, Talvas. I am on the verge of a breakthrough with this soul-binding matrix." But his life is his own concern. He knew the risks of the position when he accepted it. I stop crawling. I am at the edge of the cavern. The yellow light is coming from a crack in the floor of the room above. I can see them, silhouettes against the light. Talvas is wringing his hands. Neloth is bent over a table, ignoring him. They do not know I am here, just below their feet in the secret heart of the tower. I could call out, I could shout for help. Talvas would hear me. He would try to help me, but Neloth would be angry. He would be furious that I had found my way into this part of the tower. He would see it as a transgression. He might help me by turning me into a new specimen for his menagerie, or he might just seal the crack and leave me here to rot. No, I cannot rely on them. I am on my own. I look away from the crack, back into the blue darkness of the cavern. There must be another way, another connection. The tower is a living thing. Everything is connected. I just have to find the right pathway. I turn away from the voices and the light. I start crawling again, deeper into the cavern, deeper into the unknown. The pain in my leg is still gone. The Seeker's gift. I do not know how long it will last. I have to use this time. I have to find a way. The cavern narrows into another tunnel. This one is not made of fungus. It is smooth, black, and glassy. Dwarven, no. It is older. The material feels wrong. It hums with a power that makes my teeth ache. I follow it. It slopes downwards, deeper into the foundations of the tower. I am not a navigator anymore. I am an explorer, a survivor. I am something new, being born in the wreckage of the old. I do not know if I will ever see the sun again. I do not know if I will live another hour. But I am moving forward, and for now, that is enough. The tunnel is dark. I can barely see my own hands in front of me. I keep one hand on the wall, feeling my way through the blackness. The air changes again. It grows cold. I hear the sound of running water. The tunnel opens up into another cavern. This one is natural, a vast underground grotto. A stream cuts through the center of it, its water glowing with a faint phosphorescence. The ceiling is 100 feet up, covered in glimmering crystals. It is beautiful, and it is a dead end. The stream flows out of a crack in one wall and into a dark, bottomless-looking pool. I have gone the wrong way. I have crawled for hours only to find myself trapped in a hole at the bottom of the world. I sit by the edge of the glowing stream. I cup my hands and drink. The water is pure and cold. It tastes of stone and silence. I have failed. I lean back against a rock, defeated. I have nothing left, no strength, no hope. Then I see it. On the other side of the stream, scratched into the rock wall. A symbol. It is a complex circular pattern, a mix of Dwemer and Daedric runes. A travel glyph. A teleportation rune. It is old, ancient. Part of the tower's original systems. It is dormant. It has not been used in centuries, but it is there. It needs a power source, a soul, a filled soul gem. I remember the purple light. The common soul gem I threw away in a fit of anger back in the conduit. It is still there. If I can get back, I have to go back, through the black tunnel, through the Arcanist's spinnery, back to my tomb. It is a choice. Stay here and die in this beautiful silent place, or crawl back through the darkness and the horror on the slim chance that I can find a tiny speck of light in the rubble. It is not a choice at all. I start crawling, back the way I came. My body is screaming, my mind is numb, but I move, one hand in front of the other. The journey back is a blur of pain and darkness, but I find my way. I follow the sound of the tower's sick heartbeat. I am back in the conduit. The hole into the spinnery is still there. The blue light still spills out. My little camp is as I left it. The empty potion bottle, the water skin, the cracked crystal, and there in the corner a faint purple glow. The soul gem. I crawl to it. I pick it up. It feels warm in my hand. I have the key. Now I have to make the journey back to the lock. I turn around and start crawling again. Into the blue webs, into the black tunnel, back to the grotto. I do not know how long it takes. Time has lost all meaning. There is only the crawl. There is only the pain in my arms and the dead weight of my legs, but I get there. I am back at the grotto. The glyph is still on the wall. The glowing stream still flows. I drag myself through the water. It is cold. It saps what little warmth I have left. I pull myself onto the other bank. I am in front of the glyph. There is a small indentation in the center of the pattern, the exact size of a common soul gem. I place the gem in the slot. For a moment, nothing happens. Then the gem begins to glow, its purple light brightening, intensifying. The lines of the glyph on the wall light up one by one. A low hum fills the grotto, vibrating through the stone. The air in front of the glyph begins to shimmer, to distort. A gateway. I do not know where it leads. It could lead to the surface. It could lead to oblivion. It could tear me apart, atom by atom. I look at the shimmering portal. Then I look back at the dark tunnel I came from. There is no going back. I pull myself forward. I push my head and shoulders into the shimmering energy. It feels like plunging into cold water. A roaring fills my ears. My vision dissolves into a whirlwind of color and light. I feel a sensation of immense speed, of being pulled apart and put back together again. Then silence, and the smell of salt and ash. I am lying on my back, on rough, dark sand. Above me, the sky is a bruised purple filled with stars I have never seen before. A huge green nebula hangs in the sky like a torn veil. I am not in Tamriel. I push myself up. My leg is still broken, but the Seeker's strange magic still holds the pain at bay. I am on the shore of a black, oily sea. In the distance, a city of impossible towers rises towards the alien sky. I recognize it from the forbidden texts in Master Neloth's library. I am in Apocrypha. The portal did not lead out. It led deeper in. A figure is standing at the water's edge, looking out at the sea. It is a Seeker. The same one? I do not know. It turns its great eye towards me. It makes its low, warbling sound. It is not a threat. It is not a question. It sounds like a welcome. My leg aches. The bone is through the skin, white and sharp. I am lying on a floor that feels like cold, dead flesh. The air smells of ozone. I must have passed out. The portal, the grotto, Apocrypha. It was a dream, a hallucination brought on by pain and thirst. I am still in the conduit, still trapped. Nothing has changed, but something has. The purple soul gem is not in the corner. It is clutched in my hand, and the pain in my leg. It is gone. The wound is still there, hideous and raw, but there is no pain. It was not a dream. The wall of chitin and pulp groans, scraping aside. Dust fills my lungs. A new passage opens. It smells of old magic and wet roots. I start to crawl.